Hi there. Can you guys hear me? 20 subs away from 7,000. Are we? I thought we were 21. Have we gone up by one?
It's 6.98 agents. Look at that.
Holy shit. Hello,
We are
everybody.
just 20 subs today. Chat, can we do it live on stream?
Nah, I don't think it'll happen live on stream. In fact, what's probably going to happen is a whole bunch of people are going to unsub so that we don't hit it.
True. Yeah, and you know what, chat? I'll be looking at you, alright? Have my eye on you.
That actually happened last time. I think we were going to hit 5k. We were like 2 off, and then 3 people unsubbed when I mentioned it to the org. So, yeah. Answer, that's not how it works.
Thank you, Baron. Thank you, Baron, for your unsubscription. Very cool.
Alrighty, so today we're finally getting back to our regular schedule of the weekly reactions. And we're pretty light on reactions, but I'm pretty sure, or pretty light on content, but I'm pretty sure this had to do with the fact that we had one like on the weekend. And I think I'm going to have to try and, I don't want to put a ban on Spectrum posts, but I think we're doing too many Spectrum posts. But the first one is a Spectrum post. And it's definitely an interesting one. But yeah, like it was like, I think not long after I closed off taking votes for the content that I was going to react to, one of the bits of content tied with another one, so we're still not going to be reacting to the other one. Going to stick to the original plan, but it's 2 Spectrum posts, 1 tube video. Yes, it's the org's fault for not voting fast enough. But Spectrum is a gold mine that keeps on giving.
You know what?
If by gold mine you mean
basic.
dumpster fire, then yes, it is a dumpster fire that burns with a flame.
Listen, Agens,
that is unending.
Beauty, value, things like that are all in the eyes of the beholder. Think about it. You know, like Prince sees it as gold, while the rest of us may see it as a dumpster fire. Think about it. It's all about perspectives. We're all about multiple perspectives here, okay? That's why we're live. That's why we do this live.
Spectrum sold. Anyway, let's get our daily dose, or this will be a weekly dose of Spectrum salt. We're going to be starting with...
Which one are we doing first?
This one. We are not ready for Cargo Refractor. Refractor. Make sure you say it.
I don't know what that is. Is that a new deliverable, guys? Like, I've not heard of this one.
So we are not ready for Cargo Refractor. It's not a long post. I haven't read through it, but it's like pretty short. It's got 31 Picard palms. So you know it's going to be somewhat, I wouldn't say good, but yeah. It just went up. 32. I'm pretty sure that was Dobbs. Alright. We are not ready for Cargo Refractor. There is no ship security.
None at all.
The only ships viable for cargo hauling in 318 will be the Hull A and the Raft. Any other ship will be susceptible to shipjacking. Let's say you take your ship to Ariel for a load of titanium. You bring 50 guards with you. It's a bit excessive. You land, open your ramps, and start loading your ship with cargo. Your 50 guards are standing by, but they cannot prevent anyone from boarding your ship. It is a safe zone. There is no penalty for a person trespassing on someone's ship without permission. Okay, so same scenario. One of your 50 guards open and closes your ramp each time you bring a load of cargo to place in your ship. A shipjacker only has to time their entry properly. They are on your ship. Just an idea to ponder. This is offered by Nine Toes, distant relative to the Nine Tails, but not quite close. Like,
immediate thoughts on that, chat?
yeah, like literally Polk's just answered the, like responded, like, put one of those 50 guards in the pilot seat. Like, Polk's just nailed it right there. Yeah, Spectrum's fucking, yeah, really performing on this one. So, it's not a lot to process with this. Like, this person is literally just FOMO. Not FOMO. FUD. Just spreading FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. See, getting around this issue isn't that difficult. You'd have to deal with the person, like the shipjacker on your ship, but if you got 50 guards, you just need to put one in the chair and the other 49 to stand around it.
Yeah, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that was the entire impression I got. If you have like 50 guards on your ship and there's only one shipjacker, the moment that fucking ship leaves Armistice Zone, who do you think's gonna fucking win that gunfight? Like, are you serious?
The shipjacker.
Like, what?
The shipjacker will, because old mate was stupid enough to bring 50 guards. And if those 50 guards all decided to show up, then they're just as stupid as the owner of the ship, thinking that they need that many. That's right, Anta. This guy probably does play alone. Like,
it's like that's a common trend I'm seeing too. Like, a lot of these posts that are, you know, just like dreading Cargo Refractor, dreading master modes, persistent entity streaming, server meshing, all these things, I'll bet you these are coming from mostly solo players. I'll bet you that. Like, they may be in orgs and everything, or they may be like, they may belong to groups, but like the majority of their actual in-game time is spent alone. I'm pretty sure that's the vast majority of the people that are making these posts.
Yeah. Like, let's have a look at the
They're
top
in their
post.
bubble, and they think that they can take on the world by themselves in their big fucking cargo ship, and it's like, no, you can't. That was never the intention, and you need to fucking get used to it now. Apologies for cutting you off, but that's the take.
The top voted response, pretty sure for the first iteration that cargo will auto-load like it does now, but it will be movable, physicalized. My favorite part about this is that this doesn't actually address anything to do with the OP. Like, yes, we all know that more than likely the first iteration of Cargo Refractor will just maintain the same auto-load function that we get right now. Where you go to the terminal, buy the cargo, and it just magically appears on your ship. They're probably going to maintain that. But that's not the concern that this person has, and, you know, that's the other thing about this post that, you know, once again, you're on Spectrum when bloody people make these roundabout posts, like sitting there talking about Cargo Refractor. Yes, Refractor. And their real complaint is that there's no security. Which really should have been the title of this, is like, you know, CIG needs to address security at outposts. That's it. Like, Cargo Refractor, Fuck, now it's got me saying it fucking all the time. Cargo Refractor is not the actual problem here. And it's not that they're not ready for it, it's just that this person hasn't thought through the problem. They've just seen the problem and panicked and gone, there's no way to solve this. And the thing is that this is quite a common thing, and it's not only like you see it in Spectrum, you see it in game too, where people are like, oh, you know, I can't, you know, I've encountered the slightest bit of resistance and I cannot overcome this.
Agens, I don't know if you're reading the chat here, but some people are saying that the logo behind you is almost perfectly placed.
So it looks like I got horns? Yes, I know.
It's by design.
Not really, but it was a happy accident.
Happy accidents. Kind of like the, that fog in the clouds on Pyro 4. Remember that, chat? Hopium, right? Got it feeling like some Scottish Highlands. Alright, that's enough of that.
Agens Catgirl confirmed. Not quite, Hannah. Not quite. No, Lat. Because they're the hero of their story. They're the main character and they shouldn't have to prepare because the story is written so that they will win. That's the way it works, right? Like, I'm just reading through this. It's like, yeah, the response, yes, that was my understanding from to the top one. Also, how would the OP know if we are ready if we don't know exactly what we are getting and when? Yep, 317.4. For example, the underground bases we saw in sitcom could end up being the new outpost, so you were manually loading your cargo in a more secure environment. If the game is done right, there should always be something for the OP to be scarred.
I don't know if I'd actually have a problem with that.
No, like, I actually spoke about this a while ago with the org, where, like, this was one of the issues that we all had. Now, when I think it was Todd Pappy was talking about Cargo Refractor, when he was talking about it first, he was talking about it in reference to the cargo elevator. How the cargo elevator was something that would be available at the rest stops. And what you would do is you buy your cargo. It would go into your inventory, your inventory for that station, and then you call up your ship, go to the hangar of that ship that ship's in, go to the cargo elevator, and then grab the cargo. It would magically get loaded, or not magically, the elevator would go down and come back up and all your cargo's on it, and then you would load that onto the ship. Now, one of the points that I had brought up amongst Mongrel Squad was like, that's all well and good that they can do that at a rest stop, but normally you can't buy shit at the rest stops anyway. But what are they doing at the outposts? They pretty much have to replicate the same conditions at the outposts. And then at CitizenCon, what do we see? We see the new underground bloody facilities that happen to have hangars that go into the ground. So this is one of those things where it's like, CIG's already alluded to it, but more than likely, you know, the outposts are also going to evolve and they will have hangars that have cargo elevators at them, because it's the only thing that really makes sense. If CIG wants to try and maintain some level of fidelity and not break immersion with magically loading fucking cargo, again, then that's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah, like the whole, like, outpost hauling is going to be is not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't foresee it to be as like incredibly lucrative or heavy as it is currently. It's like going down there to Cuban mining on Daymar with your band immersion and expecting to fill your entire hall is just. I think it's a little bizarre. I think those places will be more suited to deliveries rather than pickups.
I am interested in how CIG is going to treat the different types of, well, the outposts that you find in different areas. So, like, you've got civilized space, and then you got places like Pyro, which really wouldn't have the facilities, you know, or maybe they do and they're abandoned and they've just been taken over by another group. I don't know. Well, those are the new underground facilities that were supposed to be replacing the bunker, Grady. They never mentioned that it was supposed to be the outposts. At least I don't remember them doing that. I was drunk at the time though, so I could be wrong. Alright, we are ready for Cargo Refractor. This guy at least spelt it right. Tier 0, which only includes a working cargo grid and physicalized boxes. There will be no manual loading or unloading or even NPC timers. Cargo will still appear and disappear as before. I want to know where they got this information from, because whilst I said pretty much this, it is only suspected. We don't know for sure. Thing is, COG has not mentioned anything about Cargo Refractor for an entire quarter. So, yeah. What we are not ready for yet, I'm pretty sure he meant ready. Ready for yet is manual loading or unloading, or even NPC timers, as you say. There has to be an overhaul of the outpost before that, and personally I think the new underground facilities that were shown at SitCon are, or should be, the plan. They have hangars, which would use the cargo elevators that are currently working on for our persistent hangars, which facilitate cargo in those hangars. That would give us the security we need at outposts. My favorite part about this is that people keep thinking that like hangars are going to provide them all the security that they need. And when Todd Pappy was talking about those bloody cargo elevators in the same segment, he talked about people sneaking into your hangar and stowing away on your ship while you're loading up that cargo.
Now, you know what I'm going to do, Agens? I am going to stow myself in an SEU box or like a shipping container for when it goes on the cargo elevator, and then when it gets loaded onto the ship, I'm going to come out of the cargo container and take over the ship. That's going to be the meta. Calling it right now.
Turret monster evolves to cargo monster.
I'm just saying, future iterations of Cargo Refractor is probably going to be, because like the way boxes work now, they're just that. You can't open them, you can't look inside them, you can't see anything that's inside. But future iterations of Cargo Refractor, you will be able to crack open these SEU boxes of all sizes, like the 1 SEU, the 2 SEU, the 1/8 SEU, the 32 SEU, 4 SEU. Like all these will be able to be opened. You can take them out, and once you can open them up, you'll be able to see the actual physical commodities in them. You'll be able to pick them up, move them around, throw them into space, whatever the fuck. But like that's I believe that's the direction that they're going in with physicalized cargo. It's going to go down to the very specific detail that the commodities and goods that are stored inside these. Like, if you look back to Xenothreat, for example, that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Remember Xenothreat, where you get on board the Starfare? Huh?
Xeno Initiative? Was that anti-Xeno Initiative?
No.
Sorry, I'm getting my thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused.
Yeah, sorry. But if you look back at
Shout out to Gluttony
when you get on board the Starfare, and the SCU boxes that were there, those SCU boxes were cracked open, and you had the dermo something, or I forget the names of the commodities, but those three different commodities, like that's an example of where Cargo Refractor is going. So, you know, it's not a, I wouldn't say it's a far stretch of the imagination where people would be hiding inside of these cargo crates.
Well, like even the cargo, like cargo hauling ships are supposed to have manifests, so that you know what you've actually loaded onto your ship, and when you get scanned by security, they can scan your ship to see what you got and then check your manifest to make sure it's actually what it is. There's a level of infiltration that CIG really hasn't spoken about too much yet, but like stowing away on ships is definitely something that they want. You know, they showed the FPS scanner during SitCon. Being able to, you know, utilize suits that hide your signature, so that if somebody did use an FPS scanner, they wouldn't pick you up, or it'd be a lot harder for them to, is definitely something that they have mentioned. That you would be able to wear a special suit that hides your personal, you know, signature, so that you can hide. And they haven't gone into detail about it yet because they're not up to it yet. But it's definitely stuff, you know, that entire infiltration loop is definitely something that CIG has considered. Chris Roberts has it in mind. It'll get added when they get round to it.
Yeah, I would like, that'd be cool, because like, well, what do you may have already said this, I was tabbed out, like with regard to manifests, or like, is it like a physical thing on like a data pad that we'll be able to see, or is it something
no
that
idea.
download?
It's like, more than likely just going to be something on the mobiGlas.
Probably, yeah, that makes more sense actually. Because like, remember we talked about, what was it we talked about during CitizenCon live stream with the investigation missions, like all these items and data pads, and
yeah,
they'll be so fucking hard to find and shit. Ugh.
Well, that's the thing, is like it also then starts moving in towards smuggling gameplay, where you're going to want a false manifest that you would hand over to security, and then you'd have your actual manifest that you'd keep locked behind.
No. Sorry, Nolat's making me laugh. Fucking mobiGlas, close mobiGlas. Do you have any idea of the context of what I'm talking about, Agens?
Is that somebody using voice attack to close their mobiGlas and it just wouldn't, and they crash? Yeah, that's a clip where old mate crashed into the station.
Yeah.
And he was stuck in his
hey,
room.
if anybody, if any mongrels are watching this in chat, if they could find the clip, put it in Orcons. I want to play it on stream. Anyways, moving on though.
This is actually a really good point by RestDX Nails. Yeah, and we can't even use our tractor beams and armistice zones.
Yeah, who the fuck do you think removed? Oh my, I'm gonna fucking throw something, dude. Oh my god, why did they remove that, man? Oh my god.
Because Care Bears complained. Care Bears complained that fucking people were making box walls at, what was it, rest stops.
Yeah, well, you know what? That same shit is still happening with the fucking medical gurneys. Okay?
Gowns.
So we're back to the same fucking problem. You didn't fucking solve anything by removing the goddamn tractor beams, you dumb fuck. God damn it.
Well, the other thing as well is that people will then slinging the boxes around and knocking other people over, which I thought was hilarious. You know, if somebody did that, you just grab out your own tractor beam tool and just do it back to them. Have a bit of fun. But no, fucking the main character is not allowed to get fucking knocked over by a box, alright? But they're too busy slow walking to the ASOP terminal so that they can call up their ship, and it doesn't fucking help when somebody, tweaked up fucking, 12-year-old hopped up on Mountain Dew and fucking Cheetos comes running along in the bloody, near the ASOP terminals with a box, screaming and VoIP, bloody, slinging boxes at them with their tractor beam tool. Can't have that, right? Need to ban it. Fucking can't have any cool things. I'll hate on them all I want, Anta. No, the box was the box set it up. The box set me up for the kill.
I got knocked over by a fucking box.
Holy shit, Chef Rob. What was it, Polks? Is that you? Did you leave this comment? Leave one of those 50 guards in the pilot seat of their ship.
Yeah. Again, like, this dude painted a scenario. It's like, dude, why can't you use the shit that you just churned up with in that fucking scenario? It's like, yeah, these 50 guards will just be standing there not doing anything, by the way. They're just set pieces, set dressing, you know, it's kind of...
Like, this is
it's like,
one of the...
It's like those suits of knight armor that fancy people have in their homes that kind of sit in those hallways. You know, you've seen them, right? Yeah. House tours and shit.
But this is a clear demonstration of a person that needs to be spoon-fed their content that lack lateral problem-solving skills. Because it's a pretty easy solution here.
You're telling me that these people actually have to work with other players to solve problems?
Well, it's not even me that expects them to do it. I don't give a flying fuck what they do. It's CIG. They present the problems to them and then give them the tools to be able to solve them. You know, in this case, the tools aren't that great, but you've got some. They could be better. And to be honest, this person, you know, almost has a valid point with regards to people sneaking onto ships, or in this case, not even needing to sneak onto the ship. Literally, they can just run into your ship and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, you know, remove armistice zones. And it's like, you can't remove the armistice zone. You can only change the functionality within it. Because the intent for armistice zones is that you're not supposed to do shit. You're not supposed to do aggressive stuff in them. That's the whole idea behind it. Nobody's supposed to be attacking each other.
Just as a really quick follow-up, we are now about 10 subs away from 7K. I'm telling you right now, can we do it live on stream? Tell your friends, tell your mom, everyone. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now. 10 subs away. I see it right now on the channel. We can do it. We can do it, chat. Well, by the way, agents, we have, I think Talbot found the stream clip.
All right. Let me pull it up.
Mobile glass. Oh, come on now. Jesus fucking Christ. This fucking game.
Hewlett-Packard, Microsoft, and Valve are collaborating on a next-gen VR headset.
Go back. Go back.
Oh, I need to... Where is it? The timestamp. It's not that far.
For a little bit more resolution, I'm not going to mess with backtracking. And I don't want to have to mess with hooking up a bunch more fucking lighthouse stations. I'm done with that. That's old technology, and it's just not necessary if things are done right, which this S proves. Cruise control. Permission to land. Cruise control.
Approach protocols engaged.
Mobile glass. What the hell are you doing? Mobile glass. Close mobile glass. Oh, come on now. Jesus fucking
Close
Christ.
mobile glass.
This fucking
Close mobile glass.
Close mobile glass.
Microsoft and Valve are collaborating on a next-gen VR headset.
Was it voice attack?
I have just about had Chris Roberts as far as I can throw him.
Oh god. Where are we?
That is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Telva.
It's always Chris Roberts' fault.
He's never been accused of having a small vision, Agens.
Credus Bane. All I know is if I ever get caught hauling by Mongrel Squad, I'm going to take the fun out of it by fanboying and paying right away. Might even pay extra for an escort. We're not going to take your credits come 318, mate. 318, it won't matter. We'll be closing the mobile glass. Rejecting the call.
Mobile glass?
Yeah.
Close mobile glass?
Rejecting the call and we'll be paying a personal
Now,
visit.
that's not to say we won't do it or we won't accept the call in the future. I'm just saying. It's off the table in 318. I'm going to tell you right now. No negotiations, no extortion. We're just going to board you and take your stuff. That's it. That's the take.
Dobbs, you've got a request to say Mobiglass again.
I've done it already. Mr. JC. I hope you're happy. Did you clip it? Are you gonna have it like as a ringtone or soundboard?
Is Sorrel in channel? Is he channel?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm surprised he's not.
I don't know where he's at. Currently 80 viewers watching right now. Incredible feat. Thank you all for tuning into the stream.
I'm glad Dobbs is here to give out all these stats because I'm not paying attention to any of that shit.
See?
I need a third
I'm in it
monitor.
for your best interest, chat.
I need a third monitor so I can actually have the stats up. Because I've got windows overlapping each other on the second monitor. Alright. Well, I think we've kind of beat this one enough, and we've been going on about this particular post for about 30 minutes now. Which I'm amazed because it's like literally 3 paragraphs worth of content. Alright, let's go over here. So we're going to close off on that one whilst I switch over to the next one, which is another Spectrum post.
Mm-hmm.
This one's actually going to be a long one.
Oh, good. I'm looking at it right now. All right, chat. We're gonna buckle down, go get some snacks, go to the bathroom if you need to, because this is gonna be a little bit. So you might want to just get your affairs in order.
One of the
make
things
phone
that
calls.
One of the things that I didn't like about when I started doing these reaction streams is that there are lots of things that I like to read on Spectrum. And this was definitely one of the things that I wanted to read. But when I saw the title, I'm like, I know this is going to get suggested. And I know that it's probably going to make it through. So I didn't read it. I've been like avoiding Spectrum somewhat. And yeah, this is definitely a Spectrum post that I would have read regardless if people had suggested it or not. Why there should be no escape.
No escape, chat. None whatsoever.
Jag's already in the bathroom. He is watching the stream while taking a shit.
Oh yes, that's like the best, dude. Okay, question for the chat: how long are you actually on the toilet seat after you've done your business? Genuine question. Like if you have your phone on you, dude, like, I can be there sometimes for like 10 minutes. Like honestly, just saying.
Not sure asks, where can I buy Cheeto Dust colored peripherals? Cheeto Dust colored peripherals. Does that mean that there's still dust on the peripherals or not? Or is it just like flickered on there like paint? Hey, Rusty Nails is actually here. We pointed out one of your comments.
Wow. Incredible.
Alright, so we should get actually on topic. Okay, the bloody chat is still going on about your question, Dobbs.
Listen, it's a hot button topic, okay? You can't get mad at me for that, all right? I'm just saying. And for the VOD watchers, by the way, the VOD watchers, I want your take on this too.
Yes, put it in the comments below why there should be no escape. I'm seeing a lot of posts taking this seemingly reasonable position of if you're caught in a quantum snare, you should be able to escape it with skill. I want to go in detail on why this doesn't make any damn sense. I want to kill this narrative forever because it's garbage.
Kind of aggressive already right out the gate.
Is the reality. I think it's the way that I'm reading it though too.
You can just tell by the rhetoric, I think.
Here is the reality. If you get caught in a quantum snare, it means that you carelessly ventured into the 0.00001% of space in the game that has a bubble up. You could have easily avoided this. You could have used that new quantum mechanic or just burned at top speed with the game's current mechanics in any particular direction when leaving a planet or station. If you do this for long enough, your path should never intersect with a bubble camp. Bubble camp, that's a new name.
I like that name, honestly. It's kind of...
Yeah, let's start calling the we should start referencing our fishing spots as bubble camps.
We'll start a campfire, do some s'mores, we'll pitch a tent, wink.
Fuck, you've done it now. It's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna put it in chat. How long are we gonna wait? We should put a timer up for how long this will take before somebody asks the question.
Just keep it going, right? Just keep it going. You gotta stay locked in. Agents, you gotta lock it in, dude. I'm just saying, you gotta lock it in.
Right, where are we up to? You could also quantum away. Actually, no. We stopped at bubble camp. Because space is just too damn big and those bubbles are tiny in comparison to the size of the game. Could also quantum away in a random direction and then stop and quantum to your destination to avoid being on any kind of predictable flight path. I just want to point out right now, any Care Bear that's reading this that hates PvP, piracy, or any sort of fucking interaction with another player, when they're reading this, all they're hearing is white noise. That's it.
You hear that?
Holy shit. The moderation's bloody stopping people. It's alright, I got yous.
Moderation?
Yeah, the auto mod.
Unbelievable. Chat, don't let the mods hold you down, all right?
Yeah.
I don't even think this channel has any mods.
LG Bay. LGB got around it. Alright, where are we up to? Pirates get a tiny little bubble to work with. This upsets me a little bit. Because pirates aren't the only ones that are supposed to be using QED. Bounty hunters are supposed to be doing it too.
And to some extent, security forces.
Let's continue.
Mercenary groups. Like, QED is not exclusive to piracy.
Pirates get a tiny little bubble to work with, and they have to hope that you haulers, miners, and truckers are so careless as to take the shortest, dumbest, most vulnerable path in order to get a chance at catching you. If you mindlessly warp away from Arc L1 directly to ArcCorp and get caught in a tiny little 20-kilometer bubble in all that space because you are lazy, that is on you.
On you.
If you get caught, it means that you failed to take any precautions whatsoever. You were careless.
Careless. Absolutely careless. You hear that, chat?
The pirates weren't careless. They brought the right ships, planned this out, coordinated getting together, set up the bubble, and waited patiently for you. They likely also disabled the local comm satellite to keep the law away. They did their homework. I feel like this person has been watching our channel, you know, like one of the many other pirate channels.
Yeah,
Shout out to Team Dolus.
I was about to ask you if you wrote this.
I'll see you, Brighton. Brighton from Team Dolus is here too. He's in chat. Say hello, Brighton. I like your snare planner too. It's a really cool tool.
Nice tool. We love it. Used pretty frequently here in Mongrel Squad.
Quite useful. Actually, Obi-Wan, buddy. Which mongrel wrote this? Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good question. Is this like a mongrel alt account?
Yeah, like this seems like a pretty
This is like on point. Right, where are we up to?
And
here we go.
And also like the whole disabling the comm array thing. It's not really how it works. If you're snaring in dead space, there is no comm array. So if you're doing that, you don't even have to take that step.
And you can't always do it in monitored space as well. Some of the margins that you're dealing with are pretty narrow, and some of them are just impossible.
Yeah.
And if you use Team Dolus's snare planner, you would actually see those. Quite useful. You did not do your homework. You blew it. You deserve what you get. The only chance for escape available to a ship that is so unimaginably embarrassingly careless as to get caught in the tiny infinitesimal fraction of space that contains a bubble should be to fight your way out.
Yes. Yes.
SCM will buff turrets a bit versus fighters more than a bit. This option will be more viable than it is right now after master modes go in. You'll be able to fight at least a little.
Dude, fucking turrets will chew your fucking ass up if you get close to it. Like, people don't realize, like, how powerful these turrets are about to be. It's insane. It's ridiculous.
It's not
like,
about to be. They already are.
Yeah,
they already like this now.
If you're flying at that speed, yes, but if you're max speed, then it's pretty easy to stay out of range whilst also at the same time being effective on the target. There's like a nice little sweet spot that you can kind of take advantage of, but like that's all gonna go away, and those motherfuckers will chew your ass up.
Plain Blake is putting forth the suggestion that any Care Bears that we catch in snares we call careless bears.
No, we'll just call them bears because the care is absent. There is no care.
No, careless bears sounds right. Because they're less than careful.
Jag, people still won't man the turrets. Hashtag solo game, dude. You know what? Based.
Hashtag things space dads say. That's something that's actually a tag that I want to get trending. I'm starting to put it under a lot of comments that sound like something that a space dad would say. Not aimed at you, Jag, but the whole solo game thing is things that space dads say. I want my solo game.
It's an unfortunate reality in this community. But hey, you know what? Piggybacking on the bear topic, would that make would that make us the snare bears?
There's a fucking new pirate org name out of that already. Holy shit.
Yep, name of your next pirate org, by the way. You're welcome. Hey, listen to me right now. I'm expecting a check in the mail first of every month, okay? I'm not saying that's royalties or anything, but Yeah, I guess that's royalties.
Snare bears. Fucking, we should check bloody RSI organizations to see if it actually exists yet. Pretty sure Stoney's on that right now. He'd fucking be making a snare bears org. Either that or Hannah's trying to beat him to it. Bubble bears for the bubble camp. Right, let's keep this going. Nice little segues. Hannah's Raider team name. Snap. That's a brilliant fucking Raider team name. Oh god. You did not do your homework. You blew it. You deserve what you get. I feel like I've already said that. The only chance for escape available to a ship that is... I've already said that part as well. I really should scroll up so I don't lose my place. I'm fucking almost 3 drinks already. I already talked about turrets. If you neglected to bring friends to man your turrets or NPCs when they drop, or the blades when they get added to, and also neglected to bring escorts in addition to having blundered so badly as to get caught in the bubble, then you should die in fire and have your cargo stolen. You should lose. In short, the argument that you should be able to escape a quantum snare with skill is essentially an argument that a player who chooses to leave without anything approaching sufficient combat strength and carelessly neglected to tune his flight path in such a way as to avoid getting caught in a bubble should be given yet another chance to get away from a dedicated, coordinated team of pirates for no discernible reason. You aren't trying to balance anything. You're just trying to rob the wolf. You are blatantly asking to be... You are asking to be blatantly, unabashedly incompetent and get away with it. This is preposterous. You expect to fail over and over again and still walk away unscathed against determined foes. That is not balanced. If you stumble into a quantum snare, you should have to fight your way out. If you also didn't adequately prepare for a fight, you should lose.
What's our immediate thoughts on this, chat? Based or not based? Because damn, that was a fucking mouthful. Jesus. And I thought I was a hothead. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. Guy's just a wind-up merchant. Yeah.
Very articulately put. Honestly, like, this sounds like something that came from Mongrel Squad. This is not an alt account of mine either.
This just looks like a transcript of a conversation in org chat. Like literally.
Somebody's been reading org chat and they've just decided to make a Spectrum post.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, I guess the moral of this is fucking, yeah, we want you to fight back. It's just more fun that way. Because I'm sick of fighting. I'm sick of shooting monkey-brained NPCs that just sit in the pilot seat waiting to get shot in the face. Like, thoughts on that? I'm pretty sure it'd be more fun if people actually fought back. Like, the EU guys had a fucking hit yesterday where fucking 2 people on board of a fucking C2, they actually sat in the fucking neck of the C2 and they fucking fought back. It's a much more of an engaging hit. Did you see the VODs for that, by the way, Agens? Pretty cool.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't got around to it.
Listen, I'm just gonna preface this. they were drunk. So they openly admit that they were drunk, and it's pretty entertaining.
Was there any other way to pirate?
I guess that makes sense. I mean, whatever.
114 Picard palms. This is one of the reasons why, like, that a lot of people don't like posting on Spectrum. A lot of people from the PvP community, because, like, essentially, like, what this all boils down to is that this person is saying, if you didn't prepare for an encounter and you lose, it's your fault. That's what they've said.
I mean, it's putting the responsibility back on the player. Like, I feel like we're beating a dead horse talking about this, but it's like, you need to have agency over your own gameplay. You can't expect CIG to spoon feed you, or you can't expect them to protect you against everything. Like, there is some responsibility that you have to take.
Yeah, Agens needs to see over your gameplay.
Yes.
No, agency. Like, I talk about this a lot. I've been preaching this for years. You know, the only two entities that are in charge of your fun is COG and yourself. It's always funny, like, you know, one of our most popular videos at the moment, mid-air boarding. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And if you've watched it already, go watch it again. Mid-air boarding shows... Sorry, I'm just pouring myself a drink.
Buy you a drink.
It shows players taking agency over their own gameplay. You know, the crew that's getting attacked they made an attempt. Didn't get them very far, and then when it didn't go the way that they thought that it was, the owner of the ship, he threw the baby out with the bathwater and chucked a tanny. But the boarding crew, like the entire piracy team that did that hit, you know, like, they took agency over their gameplay, you know, and enacted on their training. And a lot of people are upset over the fact that the pilot got shot. And it doesn't matter. You know, all the responses that we put in there, like, I've given detailed responses as to why we do that. You know, the crew does not need to be on the ship to negotiate. We can do that all via text, via VoIP. Like, they don't need to be in the same location as us. The pilot does not need to be in the chair. We don't need to be nice about anything that we do. You know, we're pirates. We're the bad guys. Now, come 3.18, we are going to be changing our methodology, and we're going to be focusing a lot on, you know, shipboardings and not negotiating with the targets. And we're going to essentially impress onto the rest of the community that you should be preparing for these encounters, or be willing to suffer the consequences for not doing it. COG, you know, to a certain extent, reminds players of this, but they don't do it enough. They honestly do not do it enough. They're not sitting there saying, you know, like, you need to prepare better. They'll do it occasionally, but they don't do it enough. I'd love to see, you know,
by the way, Agens.
Developers getting in to Spectrum I encourage developers to get into Spectrum and bloody, you know, start responding to posts like this and saying, you know, like, you know, this is right, this is what we intend on happening, or, you know, like, we want players to take agency over their gameplay. we're going to provide you the tools. It's up to you guys to use them. And if you don't, then we're just going to sit there and go, guess you'll try next time. Try harder next time, mate.
.318 more like 3.17.18. Kind of funny. Kind of funny, kind of based. Just saying.
Bit too real for my liking.
What are you, Agents? Really quick tangent. What are your thoughts on the recent This Week and Star Citizen post? Chief among topics in that post was the push for the 318 release date and the addition of the 317.4 patch cycle for IAE. Thoughts on that?
Well, it's telling, that CIG isn't confident in what they've got ready for 318. And, they're making practical decisions. To be honest, like, I'm not really fazed by it anymore. Like, this type of thing I just take it as it comes. So when I hear about, it's, 317.4, 318's getting pushed back again, it's like, all right, well, we'll get 318 when we get it. To be honest, it's not that it doesn't bother me, but it doesn't faze me. Don't let it get to me. I just focus what's in front of me. Being the leader of a piracy org that's always trying to stay on the edge of what we do and preparing for shit that we haven't got yet keeps me pretty occupied. That and the content creation, being a family man and working, my plate's always full anyway, so there's always something else there to distract me. And I learned a long time ago that worrying about things that you can't control just doesn't get you anywhere. It stagnates movement, and you should always be trying to move forward, regardless of where you're at in life. So when it comes to hearing that 318 got delayed, it's like, okay, well, time's going to keep moving forward. We'll get to that point and either 318's ready or it's not. And
I fully expect
Blake's right. Normally they wait until the last minute.
I fully expect the delays to be as severe as they are, considering what they're trying to release.
Yeah,
what's the analogy that what was it? I think it was Jared made, that if you build a skyscraper and then you have to rip the bottom foundation layer out of it and then put a new one in and try not to make the entire skyscraper fall. Not an easy task.
Thing is that I'm still surprised that they're even trying to project dates, honestly. I'm still surprised that they're trying to project dates when they're not that confident in a patch. But, they kind of have to. It's one of those things where it's like they need to try and at least give themselves a little bit of accountability and put themselves out there and go, all right, I'm going to push for it. I don't think that CIG's, just sitting around on their asses, fucking twiddling their thumbs, and then at the last minute they're going, oh shit, we got to punch this patch out, let's go. They're probably furiously working their asses off right now, and they're just not hitting the goals. And if you know anything about software development, that's, a pretty common thing to happen. Shit happens. There's no manual that they can reference. They can't go onto fucking YouTube and look up a tutorial on how to make Star Citizen, because they're fucking building it themselves. And they gotta work that shit out, and sometimes they don't know if something's gonna work until they do it. Toe Cutter, I fucking love that name. And yes, you are right, most players don't even carry a gun. Most of the time they're running around in a sperm suit. We still shoot them anyway, because they can still punch. And desync is a thing, and all it takes is for them just to sprint and run around behind you and they've knocked you down. Then they'll take your gun and shoot you with it. That hasn't happened to me. I've actually done it to other guys during training. It's quite funny.
Done it to, never mind.
Captain Mal Reynolds. Shout out to Firefly. Back again, I see, and still very wrong. Yes, if you have the skill, it should be possible for you to escape a trap. But remember, this is just the possibility. If you're facing off against a skilled pirate group, it will be very difficult. Not impossible though. To completely cut off the possibility of escape is definitely the wrong design paradigm. My favorite part about this is like, this comment here is like, they're treating the pirate players like they're fucking NPCs. Like that's the thought process here, is like, yes, you're fighting a skilled pirate group, it'll be difficult, but not impossible though. It's like, if you fucking didn't prepare anything, you're by yourself in a fucking caterpillar with a ship full of fucking quantanium, you don't have any escorts, you're a fucking solo space dad. In what fucking realm of reasonable thought should that person be able to escape? The only reason why that person would escape that encounter against a pirate group that shows up with a mantis and another ship to threaten them, or if they're like us, EMPs and fucking bloody boarding ship with marines on it, in what fucking, realm of existence should that person be able to overcome that level of preparation? It would then become the only reason why that person, that solo space dad, would beat that group is that that group made such a terrible fuck up that the QED, that snare that they set, somehow got powered off and they couldn't disable the ship in time. At which point, it's not skill, that is fucking luck. They lucked out. Like, I have seen skilled pilots fly cargo hauling ships and use flight maneuvers that we've never encountered before that almost enabled them to escape. But there was enough of us there to compensate for that. Like, this isn't fucking a Hollywood fight where you've got the hero fighting off a horde of bad guys and the bad guys just all line up and one by one go into the fight. This is like you're trying to fight 10 dudes and they're all just fucking knocked you to the ground and now they're just stomping on you. All of them just trying to push each other out of the way to get their fucking kick in. Like, that is literally the scenario. There's a reason why we call one of our tactics curb stomping. Because that's literally what it is. It's a bunch of ships curb stomping a single ship. Nolat, the correct answer is D, all of above. No, wait. A shift? Oh. It's E, all of the above. You threw me off with your B option. You didn't put the parentheses there. Dubs, if you're trying to talk, you've muted yourself.
Yeah. I've got. I think like there's landscapers outside, so I'm not trying to pollute the audio.
What was it, the 11 a.m. landscapers that show up?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, they're literally right outside my fucking window, dude. Like, can you be more obnoxious?
Oh god. Now this is... It's always funny to see these types of posts. I'm going to zoom out on this. Because you got this long ass post. You got this response, and then you get this. And these chains of people. What the fuck is all this?
Yeah, it looks like one of your posts, Agens.
The formatting isn't as good. It doesn't use enough pictures or video examples.
Yeah.
I like to use videos to try and break up all the text. What the fuck is this image? Without any sort of context, you look at this, and if you can understand what's going on, you're doing a lot better than me. This looks like they're using multiple snares.
No, look, this is easy to understand. This is a reformatting of the Olympics logo.
Well, let's get to this. Yeah. It might be interesting to achieve that wide net wolfpack chase gameplay instead by utilizing multiple QED ships that aren't immobilized on use. Oh god. Yeah, this is... The irony behind this is like, these people are trying to provide suggestions on how snaring should work for pirates. But we're not the only ones that fucking use them. So bounty hunters would also need to be using them. Oh, this is a dude that fucking suggested making the snare. Fucking heard about this. I never read through it. So, where is it? He suggested making the snare stationary, but the bubble 500 kilometers in diameter. There it is. I don't want to read through this because I feel like this is just going to make me angry. And it's just going to keep going. Like, the thing about this like type of mentality is that these people are thinking along the lines of trying to make it balanced and fair without actually considering that the person who is the target should also be making their own preparations. Like, this is all based on just how the snare should work, as opposed to, alright, we have a tool that is getting used against other players, how do the other players overcome it? Whereas this is trying to fix the problem of players dealing with a snare by making the snare easier to overcome. Right, okay. He wants a different type of QED, more of a QED mine approach. Yeah, the thing about minefields is you just go around, and that's it. Like, you can still do that with the snare, but the snare is at least mobile when you actually hit the target, whereas if you hit a mine, that's it, it goes off, it's gone. And CIG has actually brought this point up because somebody is, you know, they've heard the suggestion before about making, you know, like, why not make the snare, you know, like 100 kilometers across? And CIG literally said that, you know, like, well, how would you get to them in time? Like 100 kilometers is a fair distance to have to travel if, for example, you snare a caterpillar and they hit the edge of the snare, you see them, it's like, okay, I've got to travel to that. They move to max speed, you move to max speed. So Warlock moving at max speed is 1300 meters a second, or just over. Caterpillar moving at max speed is like 895. You've got what, like a 500 meters a second difference. You know, and they're like 99 kilometers away from you when you start the chase. Like, how long is that going to fucking take? Do you think that the crew's going to want to stick around for that? Like, it pains me to say this, but the 20-kilometer radius, it's 40 kilometers in total, you know, diameter, snare bubble is quite reasonable for what we do. Because you're relying on ambushing tactics when you're using a snare. Like a snare, you know, the hint's in the name, when you set up a snare, you leave it there and you wait for something to trip the snare. You trip the snare, they get caught in it, and then you deal with the problem. That's right, Brighton, and the thing is like, the reason why a lot of people complain about the Mantis is that they don't prepare themselves, as you know, this guy is pointing out. These people aren't preparing and they're getting shat on for it. And they don't like that they're getting shat on for it. And instead of taking responsibility for their own gameplay, they complain and cry to CIG to fix the problem for them, as opposed to taking agency over their own gameplay and fixing the problem themselves.
Agency. Here's that buzzword again.
Well,
say it with me now.
Dumb question. What do you mean prepare yourself besides taking a different route? Alright, here we go. When pirates prepare to go out and, you know, hunt people, we learn about how cargo haulers trade. We learn about mining locations. We learn about ship loadouts. We learn about combat. We learn how the Mantis works. We learn about how distortion works. We learn about how we breach and board ships. For a cargo hauler, they should learn the vulnerabilities of their own ships. They should spec their ships out so that they're able to fight if they need to. Okay, it doesn't matter that they're sitting there going, oh, I'm just an industrialist. Give a fuck. You're going to get attacked eventually, either by an NPC or by a player. If you're flying around in a stock ship and you only upgraded the quantum drive just so that you can move faster, but you didn't upgrade anything else because it's too much credits, and you're sitting on like a fucking, you know, 10 million credits and you're still too cheap to fucking pay for upgrades on your ship, then that, you know, like, once again, you're failing to prepare. So you should be upgrading your ship as well, because the components that you put on your ship also affect pirates' ability to attack you and the effectiveness of their attacks.
Fuck. It pisses me off so much when I have to deal with a ship with fucking avalanche coolers, celestials, FR-86s, I can't. At that point, I'm just like, I don't even want to hit it. I don't even want to I don't want to deal with it.
The thing is, Colligan, is that you should try and avoid the snare. That's the best plan. Like, you know, can't lose a fight if you're not there to be in it in the first place. But if you do end up in a fight, then it's better that you know how to fight than not. Like, you know, it's as simple as that. It's better to know how to fight than not, because, you know, you may not end up in a fight for the majority of your life, but that one fight that you do end up in, at least you're ready. But, you know, preparing happens before you even take off. As I was talking about, you know, like, upgrade the loadout on your ship. learn about the pirate habits. You know, like we actually get a lot of comments from people saying, I don't like piracy, but I'll watch your channel because then I get to learn how pirates operate. It's like, cool. You know, like it's one of the many reasons why we put the videos up.
Thank you for your viewership.
You know. But like if you want to be able to increase your chances of, you know, overcoming these encounters, we've been giving the solution the entire time, and fucking Care Bears keep crying. It's like, oh, buddy, you know, I don't want to have to use escorts. And it's like, well, fuck. Try turret gunners. I don't want to use turret gunners. And it's like, well, then just fucking die. You know, just go die in a fire then. Just let the pirates blow you up. Like, literally, just give up on playing the game. Uninstall it. Go fucking, you know, go to where Star Citizen is on your hard drive or your SSD and delete it. Because if you're just going to take the mentality that you don't want to do anything to prepare for that sort of, you know, encounter, and you're just going to get upset every time it happens to you, you know, as infrequent as it is, then you're not doing yourself any favors by sticking around playing Star Citizen. And if you do end up in that encounter and you're upset, you might as well just let them kill you. Destroy your ship, board, shoot you in the face. We get players who do that all the time. It's like, you know, you made your decision, whatever. I always say when we're doing piracy, we present, you know, we present choices to the player and we force them to make a decision. That's it. You know, it's up to them whatever decision they make. Has there ever been a discussion of snare countermeasures? No. But they already exist. They're called guns.
Big guns, big fuck off guns that can just kill a mantis in seconds because the mantis is so ridiculously squishy. Stony, I know you're in chat. You'll like that comment, right? We love how squishy the mantis is.
Daddy, how's it going, mate?
Just fly an MSR or fly a Carrack.
Fucking Carracks.
Yeah, there you go. See, Anta.
Fucking Carracks.
Oh my god, dude. That's hilarious. Don't talk to me about the mantis. How you guys doing over there at Chaos Squad? You guys still streaming, posting, and all that? How's the patch been for you guys? Who the fuck?
That's the next
Hello.
guest. For the next segment, because I think we've bashed on this enough.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
right.
you know, nobody in Mongrel Squad's owned up to writing this, so like I'm just gonna have to assume that this is just somebody who has come to the same conclusions that we have. They may watch a few of the pirate channels out there, but you know, this person is dropping truth bombs here, and probably one of the most frustrating things is that the community that supports, you know, these types of people that make these posts, there just isn't enough of us. You look at this, 114 Picard palms. Like, those are fucking space dads. Solo fucking trucking space dads that don't want to take responsibility for the
Solo
gameplay.
trucking space dads that sip on their vape pen and
taking huge rips.
it's just taking huge, gigantic rips from the vape pen, dude. while they're solo trucking from point A to point B. Hey man, that's her lifestyle. That's her lifestyle, agent. And there's nothing that you can do to invalidate the way that they want to play it, right? If they want to sit there, fucking sucking on their vape pen for 3 hours whilst they go back and forth, hey, let them do it. It's their game. It's an infinite universe.
This is way too articulate to be no-lat. This couldn't be no-lat. Way too articulate and patient.
There'd be a lot more Pepes and wheezing.
Pretty sure there'd be a few fuckums as well.
A few fuckums in there. Speaking of which, we need Pepe emotes for the YouTube channel. Seriously.
YouTube is bloody gated emotes behind, was it their membership things? Like, they're not clear on how all that stuff is supposed to happen or work. They're trying to catch up to Twitch.
Here's a tip, chat. If you want like Twitch emotes on YouTube, go search Better Twitch TV or BTTV, and it's a browser extension that you can install. Works on Twitch, but it also works on YouTube, where you'll get the entire Twitch emote library that you can put in YouTube chats. It's only client side though. It's only client side, unfortunately. Or anyone else, and if anyone else also has the plugin, you can see them. You can see theirs as well. But if you want cool emotes, BTTV, install the plugin. Good stuff. That was my little. Yeah, we'll call that our ad break. That was like a mid roll. The equivalent.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, like, old mate's dropping truth bombs and fucking Space Dad Care Bears bloody don't like it. Go to Spectrum, give old mate an upvote. I would do it now, but I'm logged out of Spectrum because I'm also an avocado and there's a few channels there that if I accidentally click on them, I break my NDA and get in trouble. Which is why I've logged out of Spectrum. Yeah, go upvote. Go upvote this. I'd like to actually see us get over, get one up on the fucking, those space trucking Care Bears. Link.
Space trucking butt fucking motherfuckers.
I'll get you the link. Wonder if YouTube will let me. There we go. Hey, it actually put it into a URL. There you go. Go to the link, upvote, old mate. Alright, let's go over to here while I switch. The next one. Fucking hate SyncTube. I'll check it next week, chat. I will check that post next week. And if we're not beating the Picard Palms, I'm going to be very disappointed in you all. Should all be logging into your alts as well.
I mean, look, there's 80 people in this chat right now, or just under 80. The same.
And you all should have a second alt account. So, like on your main, then like on your alt.
What is it? One like equals one...
One prayer?
Yeah.
One like equals one prayer.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know
where I was going with that.
Alright. Have you guys got the SyncTube link with me in chat?
Yeah, I've had this up the whole time.
Alright.
I don't.
Anta, you don't?
Nope.
Let me get that for you.
Let's have chat say hello to our guest for this next segment, Mongrel Squad member Mr. Antagonismo, if that is your real name. Say hello, everyone.
Hello there.
It's a bit disconcerting when you say hello to everybody and you don't hear a response. So I'll respond, hello, Anta. And call him Anta. You may see a few other names in chat. Ignore those. Those people are crazy. Bitters is probably got the closest pronunciation of how you actually say Anta's name.
Oh yeah, also Frieden. I remember that stint that you were under a different name.
Which you're
It was
whining.
short but
I
sweet.
linked it. I already linked it. It's up. It's a few messages above.
It's also in the description.
Yeah, it's also in the description.
I'll lock it in, Agens.
When is Mongrel Squad doing a bathtub stream? How do you know I'm not doing one right now?
I mean, it still is. I mean, it's not in the morning. It's not morning anymore where I'm at, but usually by the time the stream starts, I still have no pants on. So there could have been a moment in this stream where I was talking and I had no pants on. Just want to make that clear. Okay. So take that for what you will.
All right. And there's no real segue that we can use to get out from that one. So I'm just going to move us along to the next, to the last bit of content. So this was suggested by Anta and it was upvoted. It narrowly got through. If I'd waited like another half an hour, it would have been equal third place with another bit of content. But this one is from Black Maze.
We
Where
know
he's
Black
talking about.
Maze. He's the ED refugee now turned racing maniac. Love him.
I heard the name, but I don't know what he's known for in Star Citizen.
Pretty much the leader of the racing community, Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Is he?
Kind of, yeah.
He joined Star Citizen, I would say, closer to the beginning of the year. Started making generic Star Citizen videos, basically almost like tutorial style, like first time playing Star Citizen type videos. And then he quickly transitioned into the racing scene in Star Citizen, and since then he's essentially been the face of it. He built up his community as a racing Star Citizen community. He's been a part of he's been a part of lots of big organized racing events. He played a hand in getting the Snake Pit racetrack built into the game for this patch. So yeah.
And the racing track in Horizon as well.
Yes. So yeah, Black Maze, racing guy.
Oh, and the race after the CitizenCon with the STVs.
And if you know Agens, if you've been keeping up, the racing community is not particularly pleased with the new upcoming master modes changes to flight and flight combat. Oh.
Okay, well, let's listen to what Mr. Black Maze has to say.
Before the video starts, I would like to point out that you guys have to watch the G counter every time he streams his actual gameplay. This is important for the video.
How affect the Star Citizen flight experience? That's the big question following the CitizenCon of this year, where the vehicle experience team explained how they plan to tackle high speeds in combat.
Here.
There are a bunch of things still up for speculation, but there's a few things we know. Flight will be split up between SCM and QCM, and these are vastly different. SCM will see a hard speed limit that is the same for vacuum, thin atmospheres, dense atmospheres, and this is not something we've seen before. Additionally, the boost changes a little bit. Right now, all of the thrusters, the mains, the retros, the maneuvering thrusters, they all see the same multiplier when boosting. But in the future, only the mains, the rear thrusters, get a lot of power, and the other maneuvering thrusters are going to be a little weaker, so you can't lean down on them as much when we're boosting through the turns. It's going to promote more boost on the mains and focusing on turn and burning, if you can get there. QCM, on the other hand, is kind of unrestricted, the way you're used to it now when you're flying around. The only caveat is no boost. Now, all of this is a big change for Star Citizen and how we experience flight. We're used to this really free and unlocked Newtonian flight model, where an ace pilot can overcome the...
Now,
Something to add, Anton?
is it really free and unlocked? I ask you that.
It's not. It's not.
Right? It has like real severe limitations. The limitation of the ship is your character. You are not your ship, you are your character. Right now, a normal person can withstand an average of 4 to 5 Gs, positive Gs. That's going forward, and 2 or 3 negative Gs going backwards. This guy and a trained pilot can withstand like 9 Gs. This guy, in every single part that he streamed right now, was pulling 10, 14, 19, 24 Gs. Is it really free and unlocked?
No, like, I don't know much about this guy. I've heard the name before, and until you guys started telling me that he was a part of the, like the main proponent for pushing the racing community along, by the sounds of it, this year, it's like, this just sounds like another person that's, and I'm going to say this out of ignorance of how long this person's been a backer for, how much experience they've got in Star Citizen. Just sounds like this person's been playing for about 5 minutes in terms of the iterations of the flight model that we've been dealing with.
Right. Do you remember the times when we used to black out all the time and red out?
Yeah.
And those systems are no longer working right now.
Yeah, like fucking this current iteration of the flight model is something that we've had probably for the longest period of time. But
Since 310, I think.
yeah, like during the Arena Commander module days, it was changing fucking, every few months. And it was just nuts, like you go from one extreme to the other, you'd be able to pull maneuvers that were, insanely, inhuman, and then the next patch you were like fucking trying to do the same thing, and you just black out, crash.
You just instantly black
crash.
out,
Yeah. Yes, Pepperidge Farm remembers hover mode.
Pepperidge Farm.
I remember.
But the thing about this is like, yeah, like old mate's talking about, like he talks about, unlimited movement. It's like, well, to a certain degree, CIG made some, gamified, game decisions on what the player could actually handle, but our movement was never, unlimited. I want to keep listening to this because we're only like a minute 40 in. I want to keep hearing what he has to say, but I'm already starting to formulate an opinion, and I want to know whether or not this person ends up addressing it, or if I have to bring it up at the end.
Right.
The overspeeding risks and really become a better pilot, and we're losing that to some extent. We'll have to see how this all turns out, but it does look like there is an awful lot of focus on securing that pace of combat. I hope they're not forgetting about the real flight experience that Star Citizen brings, and racing, of course. Think about approaching a space station. I like to do this pretty fast. You can still do this in QCM, of course, but I like to do a 180 turn as I'm approaching and burn to a stop. And that's not available
30,
anymore.
40.
I either boost and I'm slow,
He blacked out.
or I'm fast and I
look at
can't
the Gs,
boost.
man. Like,
The truth
the
is,
G
though,
tolerance
I actually like a non-boosted flight experience.
so high.
One where you can always rely
That's
on your
inhuman.
thrusters to provide the same amount of output. It's a lot smoother, it feels very immersive, and very enjoyable. So maybe there is something to this SCM and I'll just fly around in QCM? Without really knowing all the details, we have to give it the benefit of the doubt. And I've wanted to experiment a little bit. What would SCM really feel like? I've went in game and I've tried it out to the best of my abilities. I tried to replicate SCM and QCM. For SCM, I would put my speed limiter on at 300 meters per second, which is right around where I expect most ships will fall, and then I would boost, temporarily turn off the speed limiter so I could overcome the speed, and then as soon as I stopped boosting, turn the speed limiter back on, let the speed bleed back, and continue flying. For QCM, very simply, turned off the speed limiter and flew unrestricted, without touching boost. What we don't know yet is whether QCM has any agility debuffs, nerfs, whatever you want to call them. I'm hoping not, because if so, forget about QCM altogether for a fun flight experience, and it'll only be useful for straightforward navigation.
Can you pause
Just
here?
hoping they don't touch QCM.
That is literally what CIG said that QCM was supposed to be. Like,
Yeah, it's like it's basically a hands-on cruise control where you hit QCM, you fly in a straight line, and then it allows you to move across large distances faster. But you're not going to be turning on a dime or stopping on a dime or like being able to do like intense sharp maneuvers in QCM. Like that's and I'm pretty sure they said that. Like that's the trade-off. Like they're two completely different modes for two completely different purposes.
Because you can't. Your character cannot handle it. If you go, when you're pulling that kind of speed, if you go upwards or downwards, you are instantly blacking out or redding out.
Yeah, and like the G tolerance, like, and you actually made a good point about the G tolerance and how it's not where it's supposed to be right now. I don't know if they like disabled it or if it's bugged or if it's just broken right now, but it's certainly not supposed to be where it's at right now.
It's still there, but it's like softened from what it was before.
Yeah.
So
So-
it triggers, but it's really easy to shake off.
the thing is that like CIG still is making a game, so they do have to gamify G tolerances a bit. I think that it still needs to be dialed in a bit more, but like we shouldn't be replicating the realistic G tolerances that human beings can take, because it would just make the game not fun. But currently, like, it's really easy to avoid blacking out and redding out if you know what you're doing.
There's also a
So-
part when he says that it will be extremely unfun, and I wonder what makes it unfun.
Well, I want to keep watching this, but actually, I'll make the point. I'll do it now. This is somebody who's gotten used to something. CIG is changing it, and before it's in their hands, they're chucking a tantrum. Or, like, it's a bit extreme saying tantrum because he's been quite reasonable with his tone and presentation of points, but they're trying to essentially, before it's in their hands, just, say it's bad. This is, Almeida's not unique to this happening. Everyone does it. We do it too. Thank you for the sub there. Oberkerman77. Hopefully I got your name right. But yeah, like, this is one of those things where it's like, they haven't got it in their hands yet and they're starting to speculate. And that speculation is causing them to get upset when they don't know yet if it actually works that way or not. And as people are bringing up in the chat, we don't know if racers have a different SCM threshold for speed. Interceptors are supposed to have a higher, SCM threshold for speed. But
Yeah, like,
CIG never showed that.
They made a point. Like the first thing that they mentioned in that segment was the focus on ship roles, and they talked about it, and they talked about how each ship is going to be balanced differently. Like the comparisons that they made or the points that they made about fighters like light, medium, and heavy fighters, and how they're going to be different, how they're going to balance that way so that their differences are more obvious, or they're more you can like see the difference more, like, and they're more, you know. And also with interceptors, like Agens said, and they didn't mention. Well, no, they did mention racing ships. I'm not quite clear on what they said about racing ships, but we don't know what type of additional functionality that racing ships are going to get. At the very least, not until we have it in our hands. So, you know, like, we can speculate and we can say like, oh wow, this is gonna be so great, but you know, we really just have to see it for us to.
Yeah, they didn't mention racing ships because it was based entirely on combat ships. That's the whole update that we're getting for combat ships, not racing.
Yeah, I remember them showing footage of racing ships, but I can't remember if they actually like talked about it as well.
Taz kind of nailed, you know, hit the nail on the head here. It's like, you know, the first time man on the gallows. Like that's literally this scenario here. Is like, this is a significant change. It's been a long time since we've had one with the flight model and flight modes. And yeah, like, they don't like what they're hearing, but instead of giving CIG the benefit of the doubt, they immediately are reacting. Let's keep watching, and let's see where this goes.
CM beyond it. Good hopes.
$20 Gs.
Flying around in vacuum 0G is where SCM really hits hard, because in space you typically fly a lot faster. 300 meters per second is not fast, not even for a Pisces, right? You would go 400, 500, 600, but right now you can't. And so when I was racing around the Everest Harbor racetrack, for example, it felt very strange because you're very slow when you're not boosted, and then you have that really momentary speed increase while you're boosting, but then when you let go, you suddenly slow down again, which is not something we're used to in 0G. You're expecting that Newtonian way of flight. So having an arcadey thing slowing you down in space is very strange, very odd, and again, it'll really depend on how they implement this slowdown, if it's gonna feel jerky or really gentle, or what is the force? Is it your thrusters doing it? I hope it's not like space brake, because with space brake, you actually lose control of your ship while it's slowing down. So lots of questions there we haven't seen answered yet. Flying QCM then is practically what we're used to, but you don't have boost. So that's something to contend with. Feels really nice, feels really smooth. And here's the interesting point. Racing around Everest Harbor, I was faster in QCM, 10 seconds per lap, because the increased top speed outweighs the little bit of boost you get around turns. Because in vacuum, it just doesn't make up for it. Having that speed limit so low means that you are faster in QCM as opposed to SCM. And that
Okay, so through his tests, he's found that using one mode over the other is better for racing. But without actually having the system that CIG has built in their hands, like, this is all speculative. They can't really sit there and say with absolute authority that one is better than the other without having it in their hands.
What I think, and I might do a little bit of speculation here, is that his test doesn't matter at all. Like, you have seen the racing they do, right? Like, they tricord a lot, they go around the corners at really high speeds, really high Gs, they keep on moving. It's very impressive, and it takes skill, but that is not what Star Citizen is trying to be. This is Need for Speed, Mario Kart. What Star Citizen is trying to be is Gran Turismo, Forza, something like that, something sim, where you have to slow before you turn your corners, turn the, get the perfect line so you can go in and out and then start accelerating, and then you enter QCM mode as if you were shifting up. Then you shift down, enter SCM again, and turn the corners. That's how Gran Turismo plays the sim games. What he's doing right now is what I see it, how I see it is Need for Speed.
Yeah. So one of the points I'm going to make here, like the flight model, you know, I've said this before, the flight model has changed over the years. When we first got Arena Commander Racing mode, it was not uncommon for 300 eyes to get under 30 seconds on Old Vanderbilt on a single lap. I managed to get, what was it, just under 22 seconds on Old Vanderbilt on a single lap in a 300 eye. Thank you for the sub there, Tumblr.
That's insane.
Can't do that now, not in a 300 eye. Like, there were people that were doing it faster in M50s and that. Like, it was when the M50 came out, the lap times were insane. They were getting sub 20s.
Can't do that in any ship now. Like, pretty sure the lowest lap or the quickest lap right now is around 32 seconds, which I think either Splen or Watermelon has now at the moment.
I think it was Melon.
Yeah, maybe.
The thing about this though is that the flight model has changed over the years, and it's, you know, like, it's going to get dialed in at a certain point because of Squadron 42, which it sounds like CIG is doing now with their master modes. And the fact of the matter is that we're going to end up settling on something, and you know what everyone's going to have to do? They're going to have to adapt. You can sit there and you can say it doesn't feel good, but until it's in your hands, you have no fucking idea. You are speculating. Nothing more. And you are not doing yourself any favors by doing that.
You speculate too, Agent.
Yes, I do. I speculate a lot. But I'm also realistic in my expectations that what I speculate isn't gospel, which is what this person is doing. They think that they have replicated what CIG has done exactly. They may be close, but it is not the same.
A while ago he said, I hope they don't touch QCM SCM at all. And I have to ask, is there any system in Star Citizen that is complete right now, that is ready to ship? They're gonna have to.
Yeah, they're gonna like they even like John Crew even said that, hey, look, we've made this for Squadron 42, and now we have to expand it to the PU, where apparently there's only like a select amount of ships that are seen in Squadron. So like not all the PU ships are in Squadron. So like they're gonna have to expand it and rework and adjust all of the hundreds of ships that are currently in the PU now. So it's like, yeah, they're gonna have to fuck around with the SCM speeds, and they're gonna have to rebalance it. They're gonna have to, they're gonna have to adjust the numbers and tweak some things. That's just the nature of the development, especially with this new tech coming in. It's fucking game changing. They're not gonna leave it the same. Certainly not.
Everything needs to be touched. Nothing is complete yet, and he doesn't want them to touch them.
The fact of the matter is that, this change is going to change, the introduction of the new flight modes is going to change racing, like it has in the past. Now, I can guarantee you that a lot of the pilots that, were getting sub 20s and M50s on Old Vanderbilt were upset when CIG changed the flight model. Too bad, so sad. Deal with it. Fucking, it happens. That's game development, and CIG is settling on this particular thing. As the guys have said, they're going to be dialing it in over time because of all the different ships that we've got in the game. But yeah, like sitting there going, oh, don't change it please, because what we've got now is works really well. And it's like, too bad. You're gonna have to adapt. That's literally it. You're gonna have to adapt. You can give your feedback after you get it in your hands and sit there and say, buddy, It should be like how it was before. And then when CIG says, no, we're not going back there, you can either stamp your feet and say, no, I want it like that, which case CIG just leaves you behind. And you just, fall behind and get left in the dust with all the other bloody, fucking people who can't move on. Or you do what, the majority of the community will do who are active, and you'll adapt, you'll overcome, and you'll learn the new model, and you'll just learn to deal with it. Because CIG ultimately is the one building the game. If you want a racing mode that behaves the way that you got it now, build your own fucking game. Let's move on.
That begs the question, is this what CIG intended? Am I supposed to be faster in QCM while racing around a track or navigating? What are we supposed to race in, SCM or QCM? Because traditionally, combat was considered very much related to racing, which I still believe. But then with these new modes, suddenly it wouldn't fit in the same category, at least not in a vacuum. Yogi Clut mentioned that he expects racers to swap between modes, which is another interesting fact and raises more questions. How does the swapping work?
So CIG has talked about different racing modes, and it's actually in the lore of Star Citizen as well, where there's different types of races that are long duration races that will go for hours at a time, and with weapons and shit like that. The fact of the matter is like, Yogi talking about, you may have to switch between modes. It's like, yeah, because you may go from navigating an asteroid field to next thing you're in open space, and it's like, you wouldn't stay in SCM in open space, you'd switch to QCM and get to max speed until you get to the next checkpoint, and it may require you to switch to SCM. But we don't know. That's speculation again, but that's based on what CIG has told us in the past with regards to things that they want to put into the game. Well, Valiant, even then, racing ships may just have a high SCM speed.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Racing does happen at SCM, but it also happens at QCM. You have to weave between the both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's
am I able to do that?
Exclusive.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you can keep going.
Am I constantly dropping my shields, getting back my shields, turning on my weapons, turning off my weapons? It all feels very arcadey, artificial, and a little odd. I'll have this restricted speed, and then suddenly I won't, and then I'll have the restriction again, and then I won't. But what if I'm doing 600 meters per second and then turn on SCM? How is that slowdown going to feel? It's going to be very quirky. Is the only thing I can really describe it as. And
no, it's not fucking quirky. Fuck off with that. It's something new and you need to adjust. It's change. Deal with it. Don't fucking... This is bullshit. He's now... How many fucking subs is this guy? We're on SingTube.
20k.
20k. 20 subs. 20k subs. Alright, so he's obviously trying to use his influence to persuade his community to back his argument to not change racing modes or to, or the way that the racing flight system works, or to, try and maintain, what they've got for racing currently when these
and he admits to that later on. He is trying to use that influence to change the developer's mind, something like that.
But to sit there, he's being disingenuous now. It's arcadey and it's quirky. No, it's fucking change and you need to deal with it. It's as simple as that. This mofo would not make it as a fucking pirate. This guy would struggle hard. Imagine bloody, having to deal with fucking distortion damage changes every fucking patch, and you need to go through the testing, and then you need to teach the org the new method of how to use distortion weapons, and then sitting there and going, you know, like we could easily do what old mate's doing and fucking have a silky la and go, oh, where they've changed the fucking mechanics on me again. Oh, where I don't want to adapt. The problem with that mentality is that it holds you back from being able to progress. Like,
question for
up
the
until
chat. What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I was gonna say, like, you know, at what point do you start taking responsibility for your own, you know, like gameplay and realizing, okay, the game is still fucking in development. Maybe I just need to take things as they come and adapt to what CIG puts in there and give them feedback on the directions that they're going in. As opposed to trying to think that I can dictate what CIG is going to do. Literally, fucking Chris Roberts is the only person who can sit there and change shit on this game. Because it's his game. You know, he's pumping the cat. We're holding the head, copping the scratches. So, with that analogy, you know, out there, buddy, it doesn't matter what we say or what we want. It's his way. We can offer suggestions, which old mate's trying to do, but he's also trying to exert some influence using this community as well. Like, that's the only reason why you'd make a video like this.
Man.
He's basically saying their idea is bad. I have to turn off my weapons and shields. That's bad. You don't know.
Honestly, we should try this, Agens. We should try to use our influence as a piracy channel to enact change in the development of Star Citizen. And by the way, question for the chat: what is this is like some Star Citizen trivia? What is the only constant in game development?
Oof. Jared says that every week.
The constellation Phoenix.
I'll give you a I'll give you a cruise lux if you get it right.
There you go, Bozy got it. Change.
Yeah, see. The pledge store.
Bugs.
No, actually, I got proven wrong a while ago. The only thing that's ready to ship right now is the pledge store. So yeah, a point for Jack.
No, they're still broken, the pledge store at times. They're quick to fix it though. Alright, let's keep going through. We're only halfway through this.
And yeah, I've got lots of questions, but again, SEM slower in vacuum than QCM when we're racing around. It's a big one to remember. Let's now go to a thin atmosphere like the snake pit. It's a prime location. And this is interesting because flying SEM, we actually don't really go faster than the top speed in SEM. Not really. You're approaching a turn, you're just about reaching 300 meters per second, and I think this is exactly what Yogi meant. That if the track is tight enough, you won't even notice anything in SEM because it'll just feel really natural. This is how I experienced it. There are a few moments where you feel like your top speed is hampered while you're not boosting, but in general, it feels basically like you're racing.
No, I know why he's not blacking out, answer. Nobody has considered this angle at all. Our attributes for G tolerance is at max.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my god. I love how they tried to say, oh, it's not about like player skill will always be better than your skills. It's like
Yeah. Your individual skill that you develop by playing the game, you know, like flight combat, will always be better than, you know, attribute points. And it's like, but wait, if I have a higher G tolerance, I'll be able to pull harder turns, right, without suffering the negative effects. So that gives me an advantage over somebody who hasn't put the time and effort into that, right? Or is that not how advantages work anymore? Is that not how an advantage works anymore? Did I miss something? Like, I know I live in the future, so I should know already.
No, no. This game's pay to win, Agents. That's the advantage. Pay to win.
It's pay to win.
I think we're onto something here with the skills.
Yeah. No, like that's just it. The attributes right now, and all players are dialed up to bloody max for G tolerances, which is why old mate is pulling 12 Gs.
Able to pull 20 Gs and be totally fine. Oh god.
Maybe in the future you can install like a metal skeleton, something like that, so your insides don't hit the back of the ship.
What's the no? What's the metal that Wolverine's bones are made? Adamantium.
Adamantium.
That's it. I want an adamantium skeleton so I could pull higher. I could pull 20 Gs. That'd be great.
I think you'd need a bit more
And that
than
becomes
that.
toothpaste.
But yeah, I'm not going to get into the science of that. But yeah, let's keep watching.
Like normal. Again, we don't know how the slowdown will feel, and that's something left up in the air for now. But when we go QCM, it feels again really nice. I've done some non-boosted racing before, which feels fun, but it isn't any faster. Simply again because you don't overspeed, you don't reach speeds higher than SCM would. So the track times are about the same. SCM was actually about 2 seconds faster if I was just running a few laps. Something to remember. So now we go to an Earth-like, a dense atmosphere, Hurston. Very close to an Earth-like. We've got the Lorville Gateways track there. It's a slightly larger track. It's got 2 straights, and not surprising, QCM outwon again on SCM. With SCM, you often are waiting because you are locked in your speed limit. You don't have enough boost to go boosting around the track, but you are also not able to go any faster. So when we're flying QCM then, you don't have that limit, and around the straights, you're making up for the time that you are slower in the turns. And I just feel like they're...
Clicked on a button. I just paused at the moment because I just looked at YouTube Studio and it came up with a little pop-up saying, now is a good time to try inserting an ad. And I clicked on it, and then I saw a little pop-up in the bottom left-hand corner and it inserted an ad. So I don't know, like it's not showing up on my feed where the ad is showing up. So I don't know if it's playing over the top of the screen right now, which is why I paused it.
Hi, Billy Mays here with Zorbies.
Did it just show up over your chat? Actually, yeah, do I have my, I'm pretty sure I got my ad blocker on still.
I would have got all kinds of ad blockers.
Yeah, I have ad blockers.
So, somebody like... So, Logos is actually the only person supporting the channel by watching the ad.
We salute you! We salute you, Logos!
Thank you very much. Do we pirate the ad? Premium, yeah. Like, I just saw the prompt in YouTube Studio and I'm like, oh yeah, what's this? And clicked on it and did it and I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh my god, dude.
There you go.
Like,
I've never seen that button though. Like, never seen it before. And it just came up with a little prompt. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe it'll show me more information. No. It's like,
yeah.
You want an ad? Here you go.
Next
just
time the
click on
chat's
the
getting ornery, we just give them an ad.
We're getting to a good part of the video. Fuck you guys. Ad.
Listen, guys. This means that we're growing as a channel. We can now slap you with ads. All right. That means YouTube likes this. All right. Likes this whole operation. By the way, we're getting close to 7K subscribers. We are at 6.99. Can we do it live, chat? Can we do it live?
What is it?
We're like less than 10 subs away, Agens.
Are we?
Yes.
I've got no idea.
If you're not subscribed, do it now.
Can we do it live?
On mine, it says 6998.
Nope, I see 699. Oh no, you said you had 4 digits. Never mind.
Yeah. Like
so we got 2
subs.
2 subs away, chat. 2 subs
should I
away
refresh?
From 7K.
And it like drops down by 20.
I'll play the victory music. Right, Agens? I'll play it. If we hit it.
Yeah, we should be fine. We're not going to get DMCA'd for it.
Yeah, it's Nintendo music. Should be fine, right?
Oh my god, it's a Nintendo music.
Did we just hit it?
We just hit We just hit
No.
7K subscribers.
Hey.
I see it. Nope.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it shows 699. There we go, 7K. And Taz
7,000
just
subscribers.
super chatted $3.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
subscriptions,
Taz.
everybody. We appreciate the support.
Fist bump. I have no idea about the super chats. Like, YouTube talks about them, and it's really like not informative.
Incredible. 7,000 subscribers. What an achievement. I'll see you I'll
Dobbs
see you this
face
time
reveal.
next year when we hit 10K.
Dobbs face reveal because we hit 7K? Question mark. Niels Reggae link. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Niels. Who wouldn't be so? You'd be surprised. One of our most popular videos at the moment has 81% non-subscriber viewers. And we've gone back one. We're on 6999.
Which one of you did it? You know, no, I don't care. That does not take away from it. That does not take it away. You're not gonna take this away from me.
GG chat. Good job trolling us. That was one of those solo truck and space dads that hate watches Mongrel Squad YouTube videos that wanted to rain on their parade.
Unbelievable. You guys are fucking animals.
Oh, we lost another one. We're on 6998. We've gone backwards too.
Dude, I don't care. No, I don't care. We still hit it. Listen, I don't care how many times you unsub, chat. All right, we hit that mark, and you can't take that away from us now.
The goal has been achieved.
The goal has been achieved. Like I said, I'll see you. I will see you this time next year. I'll see you this time next year when we hit 10,000. Okay. By the way, Agent, that super chat, how much of that is going to me?
0.
I just thought I'd ask. Split
The
at
answer
150.
is 0. Shadow Maverick 7K. I'm actually interested to see how Stream Element shows that message. It comes up as blank. All right, I need to make an alert for that because that was actually quite cool. Thank you for Shadow. Unsubbing haters 7K. All right, we're still on this video, by the way. Let's finish it off. To be honest,
yeah, sorry, we just went on a little sub hype train for a second. Sorry about that, Mr. Black Maze.
to be honest, it's kind of telling to the content that if we stop and we just get distracted by something else really quickly, it's kind of telling. All right, let's keep it going.
Too close, the too tested. It's like, do I want SCM or QCM? Or again, is there something we don't know? And Yogi has got to tell us, the vehicle experience team has got to tell us, you'll be swapping in and out of these modes. But that's something I don't like. I want to do either because it just will feel too gimmicky, too gamey if I'm popping in and out all the time. One time I have a limit, the other time I don't. It's gonna feel weird, and I just want one mode to work really well.
That's what it boils down to. He doesn't like it.
Too bad. Like, deal with it. You're fucking... If you want this, and this is what COG has said, if you want something to be your way, go make your own fucking game. Like, that's the response. Go make your own fucking game. Jem Stevenson, thank you for having an easy name to say. And thank you for subbing. By the way, we're actually on 7,001 now. Gale Force subscribed to the channel. I hope a bunch of you mongrels didn't just make a bunch of YouTube alt accounts.
No, Velium just said he has 4 accounts now. You fucking monster. The truth is coming out now. Like,
dropped a $6.99 super chat. He was the one that unsubbed when we hit that 7K.
Oh god. The
Actually,
truth is coming out that
yes, it's coming out.
all of our subs are bots, guys. Like, we're hard at work churning out these accounts every day. We're not even doing piracy behind the scenes, guys. We're just fucking on YouTube.
It's all
just
scripted,
just
paid
clicking
actors,
away. Yeah.
Scripted and paid.
Making
actors.
accounts.
We actually use the AI bots, the art AI bots, to make the videos now. It's all fake. We use I punch in like a novel for what's supposed to happen in the piracy hit into one of those art AI bots, and it just spits out the entire hit now. But yeah, thank you so far everybody for the super chat donations. I'm actually surprised anybody noticed. I'm surprised anybody actually noticed and gave it a crack. Tactical Reaver. I don't like change. You break my alpha game is all I hear. That 100%. 100%.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see the feels bad man emote. See, BTTV works.
It's not showing for me. Fucking broken.
But you don't have the extension agents.
No, I do actually. It's just broken.
Maybe you just need to get good. Maybe I'll call the Iron Islands for you.
Oh god.
I don't know if I want that after what happened to your PC.
Hey, look,
I don't think
dude,
I could wait for
fucking
replacement parts.
Listen, I don't think it was my PC. I'm pretty sure it was just Windows.
Yeah.
The bitch.
Hooning. Let's talk about that. Let's go to Daymar. It's a really thin atmosphere, and a lot of people in the community are worried about hooning because you typically do it at a faster speed.
Hooning, you heard that?
For those wondering what is hooning, it means
have their
going
own
across
word
a
for
planet
flying-
really
low flying.
fast and just having fun roaming around and going at high speeds, turning around hills and canyons. And
Didn't know there was a word for that.
Low flying?
No, there literally was. It's called low flying.
You know, I'm gonna look up the definition right now. Actually, like hooning definition. Hooning is a common word we use for any antisocial behavior in a motor vehicle, car, van, or motorbike, such as speeding, street racing, burnouts, and playing loud music from a car stereo.
So, how is that related to flying?
I don't know how it's
Low?
related to low flying. Like, is that just being a very naughty boy? Because that's the impression that I got off that definition.
I think we're being a bit nitpicky with that, but at the same time, it's like we already had a name for it. There was already a name amongst the community for what you just described. It's called low flying. I understand
there's
why.
Australian slang for this, Agens. There's Australian slang. Hoon.
Shadow Maverick says. Oh,
To drive excessively, quickly, loudly, or irresponsibly.
Shadow Maverick says it's like drifting. So then why not call it drifting?
Hey, listen. The English language has a lot of cool words and synonyms. We like it's criminal to not use them, I would say.
There we go. That's where it came from. Fucking elite dangerous refugees.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, this guy did come from ED when it died.
Well, you know, maybe they should leave their terms in their dead game and just stick to the ones that we use.
Low flying, my dude.
Alright, let's keep this going. We're almost done. We're struggling,
Gotta tell
but
ya,
we're almost done.
It still feels really good, even in SEM. Typically, you're flying around 300 meters per second. There are moments where you're just waiting. You're sitting there at 300 meters per second and you're wondering, why am I speed locked? You know, it's a thin atmosphere, and if I just press QCM, suddenly I can go 600 meters per second easy, but you lose that boost. So you've got, again, that balance. QCM feels great because you can go whipping fast, but you have to rely on your normal thrusters. Or SCM, you're a little slower on the straights, but you can turn around stuff
I love Jim
quicker.
Carner's videos. They're so good.
Still feels arcadey, not what
Impressive,
we're used to.
his skills.
They both feel acceptable, but it doesn't feel like it was built for the general experience of spaceflight or racing. It feels like we want to slow down combat, and so you're gonna have this speed limit. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't seem to fit really.
It's not a feeling. CIG has literally said that they want to slow down combat.
I think when they decided to slow down combat, they looked at way more than just combat. I think this benefits racing a lot too.
Well, there's a lot, like, that applies to so many things, because, like, when you're making a feature, let's say you're making a feature for, like, one specific thing, you have to also take the impact it has on the rest of the game into account. Like, oh man, like, for instance, like, we complain about this too, like, when people talk about, like, distortion and everything, they make changes to distortion without considering the impact of what it does on piracy. Like, I'm pretty sure they know, but they're doing it anyways. like I'm pretty sure they're not thinking about piracy. Like, I'm pretty sure they're aware of it, but it requires a lot of interim steps to be taken for it to then be made better, which is sure frustrating and it's annoying, and we don't want to have to deal with it in this way, but it just is what it is, and that's the way that the development process goes, so we have to just deal with it.
Sometimes we just cannot see the bigger picture of what's going on, and we have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gotta let them put it in the game first and try it.
At least.
Yeah, like, for all old mate knows, it could be the best fucking thing ever for racing.
Agents, I have a request. So, I don't know if you want to do this for the super chat alert or for the sub alert, but can you make it the Mobile Glass clip?
Moby Glass.
Mobile Glass?
Mobile Glass. Mobile Glass. I'll look into it.
That'd be funny.
Close Mobile Glass. Alright, we've got 3 minutes. Alright, chat. We got 3 minutes left. Let's struggle through this. And see if we can make it through.
Really well. Will you still have fun? Yes, you will find your niche. But we need some answers. So, before we can really make a conclusion on whether this is going to be a big disaster or not, I think we need answers. Maybe we can get a Star Citizen live. Maybe we can get some more answers. And we really do need them. What are the top speeds going to be of these ships? Don't make a Pisces slower than a Razor.
Why?
Don't make a Herald faster than an M50.
Why not?
Have you seen the fucking engines on the M? Like, we didn't even get bloody more than 20 seconds. Have you seen the fucking size of the engines on the Herald? Like, that thing is a fucking rocket. It is designed to go fast in a straight line. If you put
it's
it,
a fucking
like,
drag racer, dude.
Exactly. I was about to say that. It is a fucking drag racer.
Yeah, I agree. And why should a Pisces be faster than an M50? I don't get that.
Ship rolls, and ship rolls.
I mean, the M50 is an interceptor, right? It's a racer, but it's also an interceptor, so it should be really fast.
Classed as an interceptor, yeah. It's classed as an interceptor.
So why should a Pisces be faster than it?
What the fuck is the Pisces classed as?
Some kind of courier?
Courier? Could be a courier. I don't know.
It moves 2 people and 4 SU of cargo.
3 people, actually. It's got 2 seats in the back, plus pilot.
Some kind of courier.
Why can't I duct tape 10 heralds to a C2? Because they haven't worked out the duct tape physics yet.
Oh, it's a
Pisces
short range transport.
is classified as Pathfinder.
So an exploration ship.
Yeah. All right. I want to fucking finish this. Like, I want to finish this.
All of these ships show amounts of fun and have the ability to cruise around. A Pisces doesn't need to be slower, especially if we're talking about combat pacing and balancing. Why would a Pisces have to be slower? You would be applying even more artificial.
The reason why a Pisces would need to be slower is because the engines can't fucking compensate for the bloody speeds that it's moving at over the distances that you're traveling.
You see the thrusters on those things?
Yeah.
Like, it fucking might as well just have, like, what is it, bloody model jet engine, model jet engines on the fucking thing. That's how small they are. But that is the reason why, like, you know, CIG is going for some level of fidelity when it comes to the size of the engines and the bloody masses that we're dealing with. You know, there's a reason why the fucking 350R has such large engines on it and is classified as a racer. You know, the M50 and the Razor are the same. You know, they got big fuck off engines on a small little frame that's designed to be very aerodynamic. You know, the size of the engines are, the size of the engines matter. Rinza, hello. Welcome. Shadow Maverick. We're still on the video. This is actually the last video. Or last bit of content.
3 minutes. Let's try.
2.5 minutes.
Limits that kind of oppose the idea of bringing a balanced playfield. And you'd be nerving ships that don't need it because they are most likely already weaker. And a Pisces or any other relatively slow ship like an MPUV is still a lot of fun to race around these days. So be careful with that would be my recommendation. But we need answers. How is this slowdown going to be applied? Is it going to feel really jerky? Is it going to hamper your ability to control the ship? Or will it feel really gentle? This is really important to find out, especially in a vacuum where it will already feel quite artificial. I can imagine they have thought about it because it's related to combat, but we have to find out. A really other big...
You don't need to imagine
30
it.
seconds this time?
Yeah, we got 30 seconds this time. You don't need to imagine it. They've been fucking testing this. Like...
I mean, when was the last time we got a flight model update? In years? 2, 3 years?
It's been a while. It's been a
So yeah,
long
they
time.
have been thinking about this for a while.
Bozy, you stop that, alright? You stop that. Logical thinking is the only thing that's acceptable on the internet is irrational screeching at the first sign of change. I'm not saying old mate's being irrational and screeching, but yeah, you get the idea.
Big one again is QCM. I really hope we don't see any agility related nerfs there. Don't make the ship fly more sluggish. Don't apply limits to rotation, because as soon as you do that, and I cannot anymore fly unrestricted without any limits. I mean, disregarding boost for a second.
Oh god.
I don't know. That will ruin things. But I must admit, I personally think we will still have full agility in QCM without any limits applied to the ship other than the fact that we can't boost. So I'm hopeful there. Answers. If I cannot convince CIG to take it gentle with this and to make sure...
You heard that?
Why the fuck would CIG take your word over the fucking developers who they pay to investigate, test, and implement changes to their mechanics?
developers who have been in contact with Royal Air Force pilots. What are his credentials?
Oh, look at what Soriel made.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
pretty
have a
cool.
gift.
I need to tweet that out.
I'm pretty sure he made that with that in mind. He's going to tweet this out.
Yes. You'll see the tweet later. So if you're not following us on Twitter, just search for Mongrel Squad. I don't know how Twitter works when it comes to that. But yeah, like, why the fuck would CIG listen to this guy? He heads the racing community, so I've been told.
He knows what he's talking about, okay? He's been
It's also
doing
very
ranting.
specific. Yeah, he says don't restrict the rotations, don't make them sluggish, don't do this, don't do that.
To a certain degree, that is valid, feedback. But not until
Is
you
it
get the
though?
fucking changes into your hands.
Yeah,
Like
exactly,
that's the
yeah.
thing, is like, wait until you got it first, mate, before you fucking start saying, hey, change this, change that. This would be better if it was like this. It's like, no, you're literally just going, I like what we have now. I don't want to have to change or adapt. Please, like, don't change the shit for me because this is the way that I want it. Well, like, if we're going to start doing that shit, COG, can we revert back? Can we revert distortion damage back to the way that it was in 3.16, so that direct distortion weapons can actually disable ships? We can actually use EMP suppression to keep a ship from turning itself back on, and like, just listen to me because I do piracy, and I have a YouTube channel that just hit 7,000 subs. So hey, maybe as a reward, because we just hit 7,000 subs, like, you just give me what I want.
Those are some good credentials.
Give me
I would change the
distortion
game.
back, or a means to disable ship that is better than distortion weapons.
Like, fucking, we've got a minute. Let's just finish this, and then I'll
We still have fun experiencing with
bash on
racing.
it
Why not
later.
the
And to
posit?
limit the limits, I think it's gonna be my responsibility to my fellow spaceflight enthusiasts that we need additional master modes. I know they're not planned, but think about it. If SCM is meant for or focused on combat, and QCM is focused on quantum travel, there's gotta be a middle ground there. I feel like there's a gap. Think about something like PCM, performance control mode, something that is just not usable in combat. Let that be used to get unrestricted speeds and boost, or even let it be a component that needs to be swapped out on the ground so you can't do it while you're in the air. SCM to me feels more like CCM, combat control mode. Give me SCM as a flight experience, fast, unrestricted thing, or call it PCM. Something to consider, but again, I think we need to relax, take a deep breath, and wait for answers.
No offense, his idea sucks. He wants a mode that just keeps it just like it is right now.
Yeah,
He's
but that's-
thinking in terms of, I am this ship, but he's actually the player inside the ship.
Yeah, but whatever mode he's suggesting, it's gonna fall somewhere between the spectrum of SCM and QCM with its functionality. And like, these modes aren't exclusive to each other. Like, people, like, for instance, like, yeah, like, they have their intents, but like, people aren't going to be using those modes specifically for that one thing. Like, each of these modes are going to have multiple uses for different kinds of gameplay, which is something that I don't think, like, these guys understand.
Judging by what we
Yeah.
had before, SCM, you have a lot more agility. QCM, you have top speed, but not so much agility. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you lose all your capacitor functions. Like, everything is just gone. You only have quantum travel and and just top speed. I mean, and also like this is everything without the addition to other operator mode. Because remember, like they talked about like last year at the PvP summit, they talked about operator modes for QED, operator modes for EMP, and like things like that. So like we don't even know how that's going to play in to these new master modes.
Yeah.
Like if it's going to be an addition, if that's going to be scrapped as a result of this or whatever. So like yeah, for all we know, there may be additional modes that come in down the line. But we don't know that. Like we can't just chalk it up and say like this is a bad idea when we haven't even seen the full extent of what they're planning. That's my take, at least.
Just gonna switch over to face cam since we're on a black screen. I'm just catching up on what's going on in chat. Like, I recall that that CIG was working on, was it engine modules for the M50?
They did show them, right?
I don't know about showing them, but I do recall them talking about it. The thing about that is that it shows intent that there's going to be a difference between how you race and how you fly in combat. So maybe they'll have a racing mode that kind of allows you to blend between the two at the cost of not having weapons. Who knows? The thing about that though is like, until we get it, we can't really sit there and comment on it. We can provide speculation, which is what Old Mate is doing. Like he's, speculating hardcore. He really
and
is.
panicking.
I wouldn't say that it's panic. I'd say like he just doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to have to adapt. He's grown comfortable with what he has. But then again, like he hasn't really had to. Like I always keep saying that, players who do piracy have this unique perspective on the way that the game works because we deal with constant change. Like distortion damage, for example, is a really good example of change. Like I don't think there's ever been a patch where it's been the same. It's always changed between patches.
Yep.
And we have that perspective on how the game changes, and with essentially if you don't adapt, you just get jaded and you stop playing. So if you want to continue doing something that you enjoy doing, you adapt to it. You adapt to the changes and you deal with it. It's that simple. Like,
give it a chance. You might actually enjoy it.
Yeah, like Old Mate's points may be valid once he gets the game mode, but at the same time, like give it a go. Like give it a proper go. Don't sit there and just start, try it for 5 minutes and go, nah, this is shit. This isn't like how it was before. I don't like it because it wasn't how it was like before. It's like, give it a go, but go in there with the understanding that CIG doesn't have to listen to you. It doesn't matter how many people are following what you do. But trying to exert influence and over CIG, it only works to a certain point.
Clap.
But yeah, like Old Mate's points about trying to change the racing mode, his speculation on his tests. It's not helpful for him, really, or his community. What? Agens, check why there should be no escape post if you haven't already. I just got back. Why should I be checking that? I will look at it now.
That's the one we reacted to earlier, Agens.
Wasn't that the second one?
It's the one we reacted to earlier. Kestrel, what do you want
Yes,
about?
I know. Me.
Oh, is it like is there comments or something? Or more upvotes? $59 upvotes.
Let me move this screen and let me go over here. And we're going here. We're on a black screen because I need to change there. There is an edit.
Oh.
Thank you, Mongrel Squad, for your reaction.
Good show.
Oh, good shout. That's nice.
We're at 59. We need more. We're over the halfway point. Tinder hot.
Hot singles in my area.
Oh yeah, chat. Now's your time. If you have hot singles in your area, like
Get
now's
on
your time
it
to
right now.
get on it. Get right on it, guys. Now's your chance. Go.
I have
Godspeed.
literally just hid that right now.
Here we go. There is no escape from the reactions. Say that. Let me just say.
Yeah, we're still falling behind on those upvotes, guys. We need more. Should probably talk to the DG in
BRB
that.
checking out those hot singles in my area.
Well, hopefully it's your area, Bozy, and not my area, because I'm in Australia right now. The hot singles in my area are from the future. You're gonna have problems because they're always ahead of you. So they may have rejected you and you don't even know yet.
Wow. Imagine a rejection coming from the future. That must be tough. Real tough.
Alrighty, let's go back to the face cam. I'm pretty sure that the OP of that post may have dropped into chat.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
If you are Mortis Rollard, we applaud your post. We understand the struggle. And the only piece of advice that I can really give you, mate, is don't invest yourself too much when making posts on Spectrum, because you're arguing with idiots. And when you argue with idiots, they bring you down to their level and beat you with experience.
Whoa, there it is again. There's the saying.
It's the
Guys,
best saying
for anyone outside the org, Agens says that on a near daily basis.
Near daily basis.
Near daily. Because he talks to us.
Cry Havoc, that could be the next Minority Report sequel. Alright. So that is that for this reaction stream. It was definitely interesting. Like the first couple of posts, Spectrum, you know, the responses were pretty standard. The first one is just somebody just not wanting to deal with consequences. The second one was someone blatantly pointing out the obvious, and the space dads essentially rallying together to try and you know, neg the naysayer down.
Rallying.
realistically, we need to... Oh, no. Shit.
Protect your local critical thinker.
I just hit a fucking message that I didn't want to hide. God damn it. Sorry, Bozy. Feel free to repost that message and I'll approve it, because apparently YouTube doesn't like the word shit.
Just put an asterisk in there. You must censor yourself, son.
There we go, mate. We got it in there. Yeah, the second post on Spectrum that we reviewed was just dropping truth bombs. You know, and essentially the dropping truth bombs like an A2 at fucking Jumptown.
Oh,
Shout out to more.
Oh my god. And the last, bit of content was just comes across as somebody that's, never had to deal with statuses and changing. Just, mate, Black Maze, just give it a chance. Wait until it comes in. Give the mode a proper go. You may be surprised. But be prepared to accept that CIG just doesn't say anything, doesn't respond, and you just have to learn to deal with it, because that's pretty much the standard of how shit goes on around here. You may be able to exert some level of influence by, providing suggestions. But the reality is like, you may not. It's Chris Roberts' game after all. If he likes the idea, he'll make the decision on it. If he doesn't, you're just not going to get what you want.
oh Jesus.
You just need to understand open door game development.
That's right. CIG reserves the right to slam it in your face. Anyway, that's it for this stream. Thank you very much for watching.
Agent's thumbnail. Agent's thumbnail.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dobbs sent me an image to share with you all, and I need to find it. There it is, and I need to open original and then bring it across. Wait, I might be able to do. Probably going to show up as a black screen. Yep, and then I go F11. One. This one, and we go F11 there. Don't mind me, I'm just doing my OBS magic. And then we do that. It's actually a really cool thumbnail.
Yeah, so this is going to be the thumbnail for the newest video coming out on the channel in about 2 days. If you've been liking the recent videos coming out on the channel, this one's no different, and you're really gonna like this one, as well as the ones that are gonna be coming out preceding this. So be on the lookout for the channel for the next long form content video coming out on the channel. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a great video. Great video. No sneak peeks. This is your sneak peek.
The fuck is that?
This thumbnail is your sneak peek.
What the fuck is that? Phoba pointed it out. It's in chat. What the hell is that? Why is there a custodian? Why are they carrying a custodian? Fuck.
I like the custodian.
FS9.
Not bad.
FS9. What the hell? Reloading is for chumps. Alright? Reloading is for chumps. FS9 forever.
I mean, it's a 60 round magazine.
Yeah, that's still half the capacity of the FS9.
Yeah, I could still kill a bunch of people before I have to reload with that thing, though.
Yeah, cool. You just get gunned down by someone with an FS9. And then they'll just keep firing just to flex on you. Because they can.
Not at range. This thing could beat an FS9 at range.
No. You're wrong, dogs.
Like anywhere, like beyond 50
Hey,
meters.
Tinder's
like,
back.
less than that.
Hello. They're back. Pretty sure that's, you know, like a space dad has like paid a space dad who hates us, who hate watches our channel, has paid like a fucking hacking site
Tell you what, Agens.
to put those up there.
I don't have to make thumbnails like this anymore. I don't have to. But I do.
Well, so far it looks like the evidence is pointing towards good thumbnails equal higher views. Well, they don't have to hate watch the entire 2-hour long rant. They just need to pay somebody else to do it. But as I was about to close off the stream, thank you very much for watching. I normally have a phrase that I would say, and I was about to go into it when I used to stream on Twitch. More than likely, the next reaction stream is going to be next week, and we're going to be going back to our regular schedule of one weekly reaction stream. And I got no idea what we're going to be reacting to next week because we put the votes to Mongrel Squad. They'll suggest the content, and then the day before or the day of for them, they will vote on the pieces of content. I'll choose the top 3 that actually get voted on, and we'll react to those. Spectrum's on fire, obviously, so we're probably going to get some Spectrum posts, but it'll be interesting to see like what the next thing is, because we're still post CitizenCon, and it seems like the bloody ranting and raving is settling down. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you very much for those who did the super chats. I need to come up with a kind of like a credit scene. One of the ideas that I've had is coming up with a credit scene so that I can actually thank everybody who's watched the stream, and those who super chatted, you know, can be put at the top too. All right. Keep an eye out on the channel. I'll try and make sure that I put the notice out for when the live stream goes out a little bit earlier than a few hours. But yeah. Next stream, it will most likely be the same time next week, but who knows? You'll find out by monitoring the channel. If you haven't subbed, sub. And make sure you're watching all our videos at least twice. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next week.